Hi everyone, in this video I want to give you a quick introduction to our textbook to see what it looks like and how we're going to use it in our course. When you open it up, you'll see this first section called Course Materials, and it contains all the files that we're going to need during our course. You can download all of them at once if you want to your device as a zip file from here. But we don't really need to use this because all the problems where we need those files have the file available for download in the problem themselves. So every module is going to be associated with one or more chapters, and as you're working through the module, you'll also work through exercises and readings in the textbook. When you open up a chapter in the textbook, you'll see an introduction first, and it provides motivation and context for the content for this chapter. Then you'll see a series of numbered sections, and those are content sections. When you open them up, you'll see things like a section of reading. This section 8.1 is the section from the textbook. If you click on it, that page will load, and you'll be able to jump to any part of that section by clicking on one of those links, or you can just page through it. You can print, you can add a bookmark, you can ask the textbook to read to you, all kinds of settings that you can make use of here. You'll see throughout the section that there will be links to content from other chapters whenever they're mentioned, so that you can go back and reference that content as needed. There will be information about how to use Excel. You can click on figures. There sometimes are footnotes and references to tables and charts, like this, figure 8.4. It'll take me to figure 8.4, and so on. Basically, this implementation of an electronic textbook is extremely easy to navigate. Formula numbers also will come right up. So that's formula 8.1. When you're done reading, you can click the X in the upper right hand corner right here to go back to the table of contents. After you've finished reading the section, or even while you're reading it just to get some extra practice, you can come out and look at these different activities that are included here. Some of them, like this one, are an exploration activity. They're listed as assignments, and you can start an assignment and work on it whenever you want. I just want to point out in these assignments that you're not limited in the number of times that you can take it. So don't stress out about it. These activities include some description and sometimes some kind of animation. And then there will be a series of questions to answer at the bottom. When you're done answering the questions, you can ask MindTap to check your work. And it's going to tell me I got both of these wrong because I didn't answer them at all. And then when you're satisfied, you can submit the assignment for grading. When you're done with that, you can click that X in the upper right to close the activity. There are other kinds of activities that are structured activities with Microsoft Excel. So let's click one of those and see what it looks like. The idea is you're going to use Microsoft Excel to perform some statistical calculations and then enter the results of those calculations here. After you read the little blurb that's up here, you can open the spreadsheet, and it will open Excel as a web-based application and compute the things that are asked over here so that you can answer the questions back over here in MindTap. This one only has 2 things to fill in. Sometimes there are as many as 20. And when that's the case, I find it much easier to pull these separate tabs into actual separate windows. And that way you can Alt-Tab back and forth to enter values that you compute in Excel into the activity page that's in MindTap. And again, there's a button here that allows you to check your work. You can clear the problem and reset it. You can click Next to go to the next problem. In this case, this is the only problem, so it'll take me to a Submit activity for grading. I want to show you a section of things that are called Videos and Practice. And when you open up that button, you'll see things like worked out problems and practice assignments. Scrolling down, after all the numbered content sections, there are always two more sections, one called Exploring Statistics and one called Reading, Review, and Assignments. In Exploring Statistics, you'll find simulations of different ideas that have come up in that section. Usually there's stuff to play with, like slider bars or other kinds of animated toys to play with. When you're done, just click X to go back and play with a different toy. Finally, in the last section of every chapter, there's a section called Reading, Review, and Assignments, and it contains a link to the full chapter reading, so you can page through the entire chapter, and a very handy summary and review. So if we open up that review, what we will find there is a summary, a glossary, and some key formulas and extra exercises. So let's just page through that. The summary really looks like a summary. It's just a narrative of what happened in this chapter. Then there's going to be a glossary with definitions. It's a list of the most important terms that have been introduced in the chapter, and a list of formulas that have been introduced in the chapter for reference. The supplementary exercises often have answers, and then there will be a series of case problems which provide real-world context for the mathematics that's been covered in that section. Coming back out of here, I would just point out that some of the activities are going to be marked as counts towards grade, and those are things that you need to do for the course. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I'm looking forward to using this book this semester, and I hope you find that it's a good resource for you too.